events that shall be joining us in due course. So we hope that the committee shall be learning us from the 3 apologies for the absence of late arrival.
We are quite ready.
Thank you. Then move on to that time worker.
I do swear that I, Dr. Ram Mongati,
The mic, put the mic on. So, here.
I, Dr.
Kakamega, do you introduce yourself?
Honorable Chair and members of the committee, our council, Chair of the board and colleague board members and the council, you may allow me, Chair, to at times stand and sit. You know, when you are facing such a committee, at times as a human being, you are not in control of yourself. So to the extent that even at times find you in passing, you are not aware. So I'll make myself comfortable each other time. And the council, for the petition and the petitioner himself, my name is Dr. Ram Wangatia. I come from Mias East Sub-County, Lubin Shire Ward. I went to primary school at Mwitoti Primary School. I proceeded to Maseno School for my secondary education. After Maseno School, I went for my bachelor's degree in education at Moi University. Now, after Moi University, I joined the teaching profession. I'm a career teacher. I taught at several schools, notably Kakamega School and St. Peter's Momias Boys High School. Thereafter, I proceeded for my master's degree at Maseno University as researchers. So to date, those are the positions I hold, and that is my brief profile.
Thank you very much. Presently, you confirm to the committee your workplace.
Presently, I am a member of the County Public Service Board, and on that board, I chair the Committee of Training and Development, and I'm equally the Vice Chair of Recruitment and Selection. And in that regard, Honorable Chair, matters to do with recruitment, in my own opinion and my own view, were ably handled by the Chair of Recruitment, the Chair of the Board, and the Vice Chair. And therefore, I want as much as possible to avoid that, because they say it all as it is as factual as possible. Any other issue that may relate to training and development, I can ably respond to that as the person who is in charge. And as I talk about training and development, just to roll out the information that I'm incompetent, I organized and inducted the current lot of executives, the CECs, and chief officers. I have equally undertaken capacity building teams within the county government in the hope that that enhances service delivery to the people of Kakamega. Greatly mentioned in here is the exhibit number 47, which is the HR audit. And that is the committee that I chaired. I was able to produce that document, and I really think that by design, by content, and by format, it is anywhere close to describing somebody as incompetent.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wangatia. You understand that a civilian, a resident of the Kakamega County, has initiated this process from office, right?
Yes, sir.
You may wish to confirm the committee whether the individual is personally known to you.
No, not know him. But of course, when I received the petition and read about Dennis Mohana, I did a lot of inquiring around the people who do this. I've spoken to this. He's the chair of UDA Kakamega County, and he's also a broker in Kakamega Town.
And possibly in the course of your work, whether you have encountered him, whether you have spoken with him, whether you may have information from you.
No, I have never encountered him. I set my eye on Dennis Mohana only to see a decently dressed gentleman when we arrived here. With clean shaven, looking smart, so that's the man I now know.
In his set of allegations as contained in the petition dated 6th of October 2023, as well as the affidavit in support of the petition, supposedly sworn on 20th of November 2023, raises several allegations against the member of the board generally, and as well, he raises some other allegations against you. You confirm that you prepared a response in respect to that, and on 29th of November, and presented it before the assembly.
I confirm.
Okay. You also wish to adopt that particular answer to the petition in response to the allegations, right?
I do.
Honorable Chair, we pray that you further adopt the law of 2023 as part of the evidence in force from the Dr. Wangatia. Now, importantly, he raises a number of allegations against you. When you look at his petition, as well as his affidavit in support, he alleges that you employed relatives without declaring conflict of interest. Could you tell us whether that is true or not true?
A clear response to that, because I believe the petitioner has the task to prove his allegations against me. Going through this document of exhibits, none of them alludes to that, and therefore I wouldn't know exactly what he wants me to respond. So that is not true.
I would also like you to clarify whether this petitioner made any disclosure of whether this gentleman by the name Jamal Sula is related to you in any way, apart from saying he's your relative. Did he describe whether he was a son?
There is no disclosure.
A brother-in-law?
There is no disclosure.
No disclosure.
Yeah, nothing in this document.
Did he produce any evidence?
No,
Not any measure of relation?
He has not produced any evidence to that effect.
Similarly, he's also made some further allegations in regard to one public communication officer, one supposedly an accountant, Zabek Wangachi. Has he made any disclosure of the nature of relation he perceives that you are?
He has not made any disclosure to that effect, and therefore that exhibit is not acceptable.
Has he produced any evidence to show any relation between you and Zabek?
Not at all. Not at all.
Possibly, maybe what the petitioner desires to establish is that all Wangatas are your relatives. Is that a possibility that all Wangatas are your relatives?
That theory cannot hold, because honorable chair in a committee, there is a man full of wisdom. I don't think whether that implies that there's a relationship with the family, and therefore that one is unfounded.
Did the petitioner even tell us what kind of image that you share with these two individuals?
He hasn't told me because there's no idea.
Again, he alleges again that in the employment of this, in the process of recruitment of these two individuals, that there was no declaration of conflict of interest. Similar allegations as your previous colleagues. Has there been any evidence that conflict of interest was required to be declared and you did not?
No, he has not.
Maybe at any point that you may have been summoned by the office of the county governor to explain some of these things, because he says he addressed these things with the office of the county, and to date has not received any response. Would that be true to your knowledge?
No, nothing that I'm aware of.
As a member of the board, maybe at one of the sessions, you may have come across an inquiry addressed to the Public Service Board, as well for this kind of responses, and as well you may have come across his request for documents from the board.
I'm not aware of anything like that, and nothing has been forwarded in this bundle of exhibits to show that there's any form of request.
Probably the last thing is also made the general allegation that the board conspired to remove the secretary from office. Would that be true? Were you party to any conspiracy to remove the secretary from office? Did you initiate any process? Has there been any evidence of that?
He has not produced evidence to that effect, and there's nothing like conspiracy.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. That will be all for this witness.
Thank you very much, Council, for the response. And also thank you for taking the shortest time possible. I think it works in the interest of everybody. Yeah. Now, Council, for the petitioner, it's interest of time, again, I'll request you to take as little time as possible.
Chair, I have a weakness. I manage my time best when I'm tired. I manage my time best when I'm tired.
Oh, okay. We will give you 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then see whether we can finish or not.
Now, Mr. Wangati.
Yes, Council.
Sorry, Dr. Wangati. In your testimony, Chief, you made a significant reference to Exhibit 47. Please start with that portion of that exhibit which has recommendations. That should be section 5 of the report. You're there?
I'm there.
The report has up to 12 fragments, no, 13 fragments of recommendations. Banded together, and in each band there are fragments within for various remedial actions to be taken. Yes?
Yes.
Now, as a member of the board, and knowing that you and your colleagues are, the petition is against you collectively, individually and collectively, did the board ever follow up since the report was issued and as of today, 7th December 2023, whether the proposed remedial action recommendations were acted upon?
Honorable Chair, I've been in this hearing since it began, and I remember when my counsel was cross-examining the petitioner, this particular exhibit 47, he declared that it had no relevance in this matter. He did say that. However, looking at this document, it is only signed by, there's a signature, which I know too well is the CEO signature. It is not the governor's signature, because this document is still under confidential cover in the office of His Excellency the Governor. Now that it is the CEO who decided to circulate it, she can be here and answer to some of these concerns, because in any case,
you know, my parents are teachers. I have tremendous respect for teachers. Let me put the question again. It would be helpful for time management if you answer you don't know or you know, and to what extent. As of today, 7th December 2023, do you have an account as a member of the board of whether the recommendations were followed up on and acted on?
Honorable Chair, I want to request that the council doesn't press me to give him a response he wants to hear. This is a document that is still under confidential cover in the office of His Excellency the Governor. It's the Governor himself who requested for this audit. We pointed out the audit and forwarded a report to him. He is yet We were not sure whether he's still reading, is a busy person, that's a busy office, whether he could still be reading. And therefore, for me to start discussing whether there's been a follow-up, I think that would not be proper, because these are documents still under confidential cover. How, in any case, it was presented here without the authority and approval of the board is still a question. It has not been certified. So I wouldn't say so, because now that it has not been certified, and it has come from the office of the custodian, I wouldn't be very sure whether some of the contents here have been altered or not, immediately have been certified. So I want to request council here, as much as he's claiming he has got a lot of respect for teachers, which is, I'm sure, is a statement made immediately that I've not given him the answer he wants, please, he shouldn't pursue that one.
So, sorry, Doctor. So your answer, the long and short of it, is that you are unable to respond or comment on that.
I cannot be unable because I have responded, council.
Okay. Now, still on Exhibit 47, will you confirm that the document before you is a document that is a reflection or an authentic copy of that which the board looked?
Chair, I want to say again, and I want to believe in council to understand this. This is a document that is not certified. It was released without approval of the board. So how do I now confirm its content when it is not a certified copy? The custodian is the CEO. So after that question, we should be asking the CEO, is this a reflection of what the board decided?
Okay, thank you. As we speak, may I refer you to paragraph 37 of the affidavit in support of the petition.
Paragraph
37.
37. And Chair, before I take this question, which I will, I wanted to go on record again that the petitioner was asked by our council whether he knows anybody called Moses Munwanga, whether he has ever met Moses Munwanga, and that question was posed to him 3 times. He said he has never met, neither does he know Moses Munwanga. Another question I did remember very well he was asked was where he was on 20th of November. He said he could not remember where he was. Well, this document was signed in Kisumu. So if he signed it before, the advocate who administered the oath, he doesn't know him, then in essence, the petitioner was disowning this document. So I wanted to go on record that the petitioner disowned this document. However, I will take the questions as the council will ask.
As you testify here today, and as a member of the board, are you able to confirm whether or not you took part in the interview of Jamal Suya and Zabek Wangati?
Chair, it's the petitioner who should have provided evidences to support his allegations. However, it is our practice at the board that whenever any member has got any form of interest, that interest is declared and it is captured every. So what council here should be presenting is evidence to that effect. But to ask me here, the question seems to be asking me to assist him to build his case. it is him who to justify his case against him. So he has not produced that, and I want to say allegations in 37 are not true. So any other question on 37, he can stop at that and ask me any other.
Chair, may I proceed? I don't want to confront the teacher, but I think it is not in his place to say what I can ask and cannot ask.
Dr. Raf,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
the counsel for petitioner is here to cross-examine.
Yes, sir.
So please, let him cross-examine. You should not ask him what not to ask or what to ask.
Okay.
Thank you. Proceed, counsel.
I'm still with the number 30, paragraph 37.
Yes.
Since the petition, the affidavit, and the documents in support of the affidavit was served upon you, those the matter concerns your standing as a member of the board. Did you endeavor to acquire and use records of the board relating to the employment of Jamal Suya and Zabek Wangati?
Chair, it was said here by all respondents who have appeared before me that we are not able to access any record. Strangely, we are board members, we should have direct access to our records. But we have got no access to them through whichever means. Even my emails here, I've got texts to the CEO to provide documents. She has never provided. But strangely, an outsider can easily get those documents, even without writing a letter. So probably, the long and short of it is that I have no document about that.
Now, the witness before you, your colleague Sylvia,
Yes.
when asked about Shalini Mukari, testified before the committee that information as regards the persons who interviewed persons and where they were interviewed and the interview schedules are available and obtainable. Will you testify that in respect of yourself and the two persons named against, in respect of the petitioners against you, for your case, such information is absolutely inaccessible at present?
To the best of my knowledge, I did not participate in the recruitment of any of these persons. And secondly, where recruitment means, right from shortlisting, selection, interviewing, and final selection, I did not participate. And that is what my conscience has. So it is the petitioner now to prove that otherwise. But to the best of my knowledge, I did not participate.
As we wind up, let me refer you to Exhibit 4.
Exhibit 4.
That should be the letter dated 20th March 20.
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge and all recollection, you see the person named that Number one.
Number one, Thomas Oyolo, is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
You will agree with me that he was employed as a government receptionist.
Yes.
For the position of the government receptionist, how many people were shortlisted?
Of course, for as practice, for each position, normally we shortlist 3 people as practice, so that we avoid disappointing very many people. For each position, it has been our practice. We usually 3, unless there are other factors that would make it probably 3 to 4 or 5, but many times just 3.
As you stand here, Dr. Are you able to tell, for the benefit of the committee, how many people applied for that position?
No, I can't. Some of us are not very good at keeping figures in the head. I'm not like engineer where you would ask how old I am and simply listens to my ID number can tell. I'm very poor at figures.
Okay. So we share that difficulty. Now that you say that the standard practice is to shortlist 3, would I be right to say that we can conclude that in respect of each person there, the positions for which they were recruited, only 3 persons were shortlisted?
Not necessarily, but I've said in practice.
In practice.
But variations.
Okay. Now, there is a name there called Stereo Wananya Okumu.
Yes.
Who was to be employed and was indeed employed as an economic advisor.
Yes.
Because of the sensitivity of that post, we may presume that there are also 3 shortlisted candidates.
We can assume, like you say.
Okay. Now, 3 shortlisted candidates for the positions in respect to which these people were recruited. Is it true or is it not true that the board did not deem it necessary to ask the shortlisted candidates to avail their copies of their academic documents before the interview?
I don't know what you mean by before the interview.
There is a question that you listened to the proceedings of yesterday. There were issues of the authentication and verification.
Yeah, I just want to know what you mean by before the interview. Is it an hour? Is it a day? Or is it a month before?
At any time before the interview.
I'm yet to know where that is in practice in Kenya, or even the world over, unless probably in very modern or highly technological economies. But in Kenya here, the reason why you can candidate is because as the interviewing panel, we are looking at very many factors. Certificates being one of them. We are looking at very many factors. So many times to want to look at certificates earlier, it has got its own implications, which we know the cost to these applicants, and the country doesn't reimburse them money. So really, I think that is not in practice. And in any case, matters to do with certificate verification and authentication were ably responded to by the chair others. And I think taking me back there again will be intentional to probably establish some contradictions.
Dr. Do you want to take the position of the chair and command the proceedings?
No, I'm not. I'm speaking myself so that we can go together with due respect.
Okay. So your answer, as I gather, is that the board did not deem it necessary to do so. The long and short of it.
You know, I don't want to say yes because you'll be putting once in my mouth, and I've said the way I'm thinking, I perceive your question. That it is not really in practice. Even you, when you are looking for a job, or anybody in the recent past, where you are told bring your certificates. In any case, even as board members, we are not experts forensic staff. And then there is that latitude given that once one is onboarded, we have got 6 months of probation. A lot of things come up during probation, including.
Just an interjection.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. From that, please just respond to the question from the council. Just respond to the director question.
Honorable Chair, with due respect to your interjection,
Yes.
there has not been any complaint from the Wakili that the question has not been responded to.
Maybe can we moderate our emotions then?
Yeah,
But,
no,
I'm fearing that it could lead to an extent. You are becoming emotional.
no. That's just me.
Proceed.
Many times with chair, vice chair, you respect people, imagine that I'm harsh, that I'm very volatile just because of my voice. You know, God, now blame God. You know why God did this to me?
It's okay.
Yeah, so we are aware, eh?
But to the extent that I was to cross-examine you at that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That was your meeting.
Thank you, Council.
Bethany, of course, with your 4 years experience, and your experience, Teacher Service Commission, your experience with interaction, you've been required to avail certificates.
No.
I would also like you to clarify to the committee whether, as part of the requirement under your advertisements and application procedures, there is any to upload and provide copies of the certificates.
The current system we have doesn't provide for uploading certificates. And probably one thing that needs to be made clear is that the system we are having is it is purchased by the county government of Kakamega. So we are only able to do what it provides for. But as a board, we do not have capacity. If we had capacity, we would have actually looked for a more convenient system.
There also has been concerns by counsel for the petitioner requesting whether you have any evidence of you not participating in the recruitment of Jamal and Zubek. You recall yesterday your colleague testified on the processes and availability of the shortlists, right? And the interview schedules, right?
Yes.
With that disclosure, clarify to the committee as well whether the petitioner or his counsel went to the website, downloaded any list in which you are shown to have interviewed any of these individuals.
The petitioner hasn't provided that, but you see, he claimed he is an IT expert, and actually this information of the shortlist and where people usually go for the interview is on the website. He can produce that because I want to believe that I was not involved in the recruitment of these persons, right from the onset to the end.
You recall that we sought the committee's, on the basis of law, the committee's acceptance that the CEO of the board and any person who may have authored this document comes to testify. You recall that?
I recall.
You recall what the committee in its ruling directed?
I recall.
Clarified to the committee as well whether you can be blamed for things that the CEO is not here to explain.
The committee said that in its wisdom, it did not see it necessary to ask the CEO to come.
And again, on that document that is referred to as escape number 47, could you clarify whether there were any timelines within which to comply with any action?
No, the timelines were not set.
Timelines were not set. And you also had your colleague clarify to the committee yesterday, that is the CEO Tunga, that most of these things are ongoing, some of them are completed, the action points, right?
Yes.
That we will from witness.
Thank you.
Is it possible? Is it possible that I can make a closing remark?
Oh, yes. You are allowed.
Okay. The chair of the committee, the vice chair, members. I'm sorry to interject that I wish to make a remark, because if I don't make this remark, then you'll be visiting me in the hospital evening because I'm full sick. I'm one person who believes in speaking his mind. I speak my mind with a lot of fairness and as truthful as it may be. I want to start by saying, making reference to the analogy of my circumcision in 1978, August 1978. I was a very small boy, and on that queue of my siblings, my brothers who were getting circumcised, I came third in that line. Now, I remember while I was holding, because it was outside my mother's house, when I was standing with those of us who have gone through that experience, you are thinking that you hold and you look at your face. But as curiosity has it, I would occasionally drop my eyes. I saw my father standing in front of me. I looked into our house. It was a grass-thatched house. I saw my mother peeping through the door. Then when I dropped my eyes, I saw the circumciser. I find that analogy quite relevant in this scenario, because as I sit here, I look at this honorable committee and I see distinguished men. I see a committee that cleared us cleared me as a member of the board to take up this position with a lot of confidence. I see the confidence that my father had at that time, that he was presenting a small bull for circumcision. And I see it, that in the wisdom of this committee, the men in this committee will look at us as our father. Then I look at the women in this committee and I see my mother, who was hiding behind the door. In one hand, she was having a traditional knife and panicking whether the circumciser will kill the child or not. So I see the love of my mother in the honored women seated in this committee. Then I look on to my right and I see the petitioner. What comes into my mind is that circumciser. The only difference is that at that time we had a very traditional professional circumciser. But right now we are now having a modern could my uncles, the uncles who are standing on the sidelines, say yes, kijana wetu anatahiriwa leo. So I want to ask this honorable committee to look at me and the board with the eyes of my father and the eyes of my mother. Then that takes me to the analogy of Ikemefuna and apart. Ikemefuna was a child adopted in Okonko's household. A moment came when the seer said Ikemefuna must be killed. So the elders of the community, including Okonko, picked machetes and went out to kill Ikemefuna. There was an old man, I think his name must have been Okwefi Udo, if I'm not sure, if my name was something like that, who called Okonko aside and told Okonko, do not kill this child calls you father. So I look at this committee and ask myself, will you kill the child who calls you father? But Okonko defied that and went ahead and killed Ikemefuna. Those of us who have read literature know what happened to Okonko. So the child is before you, the knife is before you, and I want to plead with the wisdom of this committee. The chair of this committee, you have got immense wisdom. It is supported. The chair of this committee, you have immense wisdom. Supported by wise men like Honorable Maham and the rest. Backed up by the most recent, wisdom of the Honorable MCA like last one. And it's surrounded by the wisdom of mothers that kill their children. The question I want to leave with this honorable court at this house, will you kill the only child who calls you father? I rest my submission. Thank you very much.
Just Chair, just a question. Thank you, Dr. I think it is a summary from your side. Just to the two things together. Thank you for that analysis. And also, you also appreciate that traditional sometimes are also prepared to be very sharp. So that's why we also are acknowledging them that despite the traditional circumcision, some of us have named because of that. And I think you're going to be a man with that circumcision. But just on the light note, just to put this committee on a clear note that during the interviews of the board, you allow candidates to present before you originals of their documents.
Thank you, Honorable Hannah. We allow candidates, in fact, that's a requirement, that they come with originals of their certificates. Can I elaborate a little?
No, it's okay. That's the rules we wanted us to try. Then finally, in your own operation as a board, tell this committee, if I apply to obtain documents from you, if I write, what do you expect as a board? What do you expect so that you approve that I should actually obtain the certain file? What will be?
That is an application of an outsider or
Yes, an outsider.
Of course, the law prescribes it, but what in practice, what is expected is that that application is received at the registry. It is recorded in the registry. Then it moves on to the CEO. The registry, the person in charge of the registry marks it to the CEO. The CEO receives it and then tables it as an item to be discussed in the board. So it comes to the board. The board looks into the rationale of releasing the documents and then it can approve.
Thank you, Chair. I think that's all.
I think think all councils have finished their cross-examination and the examination. That's now again. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Lal.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think this committee has what it is to make a decision and a proper decision. So we are actually going to use the evidence that we've been provided to make that report. So you don't have to be worried. Yeah. I think we go to the last respondent. And that is ready, is ready to take it up.
I, Joel Okokanyera, do swear that the information that I shall present before the Committee on Public Service and Administration in respect to the matter before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Council can now proceed. We have 45 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Commissioner Mboko, you can choose to stand or to sit. I prefer you sitting.
Because of the hair on the head. Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Kindly, Joel, will you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Chair. My name is Joel Okoko, born in Butere, sub-county of Kakamega County at a village called Ishina Moinili in Marama Central Ward. I went through our local schools, that is Mutoma Primary and Butere Boys, then called secondary school. I later joined the military as an airman, that is the Air Force. I worked in the Air Force for 5 years. Then I left and proceeded with further education. I went to Egerton University where I started Bachelor of Arts, that is sociology. Then I was employed by Public Service Commission as planner trainee in the Ministry of Lands. Then I went to Nairobi University for Master of Arts in Physical Planning. So I am a professional planner. I worked in the Republic in various capacities, both at the district I left the public service when I was in charge of Coast Province. I even worked in Kakamega here as the provincial director of fiscal planning. One of the things that I say around here that I say, wow, I also contributed is the current High Court. I joined the public service in 2019, as you all know. And we have done our things within the provisions of the law that guides our activities and the policies that we have formulated ourselves to help us manage the activities of the board. That is the much I can say about myself. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much for the introduction. The petitioner, Dennis Duncan Muhanda, would you be knowing him maybe from personal relation, interaction?
No, I came to know the Dennis Muhanda physically when we met on our first day during the hearing of this petition.
And you have been here throughout the proceedings.
Yes, Council.
You came across the petition,
Yes, Council.
the affidavit in support, and the bulk documents were also delivered at the board offices,
Yes, Council.
together with a schedule for this year, right?
Yes, Council.
Could you confirm if there was any schedule that required you to appear on any day at any time to come and give testimony?
No, Council. And I was surprised when I was abused yesterday that I was supposed to give verbal testimony to this matter.
You also, in compliance with the acting clerk's letter over the petition hearing on 29th of November 2023, filed an answer to this petition, right?
Yes, I did.
You also wish to adopt the contents of that answer as your evidence before this committee.
Yes, Council.
We request that the contents of the answer to the petition dated 29th of November 2023 be adopted as evidence in cross. Further, Joy,
Yes,
the petitioner has made grave and concerning allegations, both generally and to your person. You understand that?
Yes, Council.
Now, over those allegations, I would also like you to clarify to us or this committee whether this petitioner has produced any evidence in support of those allegations.
I have seen that, Council.
Yes. In fact, in his own evidence, he declared to the committee that he did not have any to support any of the allegations, right?
True.
Would you think it would be fair, justice, and in the best interest of the people of Kakamega that you are recommended for removal from office for allegations that are unfounded?
Do it not be fair?
Particularly when you look at his petition, he alleges, when you look at his petition and the affidavit in support, he makes certain allegations, and one, you participated in the recruitment of one that Kakamega. First of all, did you ever participate in the recruitment of such a person? No. Was there any evidence showing that you did participate? No. Two, he also alleges that two, does he even disclose? Oh yes. Two, he also alleges that Duncan Babuya is your son.
I don't have a son by this name.
He's assigning you children.
Yes.
Umetembea namna gani? Tuambie tu. Tueleze tu.
He is not my son.
He's not your son.
Yes.
Has there been anything brought to this committee to show that Duncan Babuya is your son?
I have.
Known as Eric Onyera.
I don't have.
You do not have.
Yes.
Has there been any evidence brought before the committee that this Eric Onyera is a nephew to you, a son to your sister called XYZ? No. Maybe one of your sisters might have. Again, there is the Teresia Amunga. Has there been any disclosed relation between you and Teresia Amunga? No. Now, maybe you may have participated in the recruitment of Eric or Teresia. No. Do you even know when they were recruited?
Yeah, I could know when they were recruited because they were recruited during our time here. But I didn't participate in their
Participate. Now, has there been any evidence to show that you indeed participated in listing, the interview, the selection of any of these three people? At least two ya kuonyesha kwamba kwa hiyo panel na tarehe fulani, mahali fulani, na akaweka mkono yake kwa mke wote kwa hawa. Has there been any?
No, there isn't. But now maybe to get further information regarding this, I did a letter to our secretary.
Yes.
Asking her to provide me with information.
Yes.
In relation to the two employees of Kakamega County Government who are claimed to be related to me. And I participated in their employment.
Yes.
And the letter has not been answered to date.
When did you write the secretary?
On 30th.
30th of November.
Yes, yes.
You have a copy of this letter.
The letter is here. In my own handwriting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would like the committee?
Yeah, if the committee agrees to look to the letter.
I don't know if my colleague has any problem for consideration of this requisition for information.
Council would have opposed, but in view of the inquisitorial character of these proceedings, it may be.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my colleague and the committee. Maybe for the purposes of record, I would wish the letter to be presented as a exhibit number D1. Now, D for dog. Maybe just as a matter of clarity, could there have been any evidence produced before the committee showing that these individuals were recruited and they did not qualify for these positions.
Nani wa Kanzo?
You, as a member of the board,
Yes.
has your competence at any point been subject of inquiry, even by this committee that oversights you?
No.
There are also some other general allegations saying that you and the rest of the board members and the chairperson, you had a conspiracy to remove the secretary from office. Probably that is why she is squeezing you to get documents. Now, would that be true that you, in your age and experience, you sat down, planned, and executed an irregular process to remove the secretary from office?
Not true.
And has there been any evidence in support of that?
I have seen none.
We've seen none being produced.
Yes.
Would there be anything else that you would wish to tell the committee?
Yes, Council.
Yes.
Chair, the honorable members. I just want to start by saying that from the time we were vetted in this room, this assembly, and we took over office as members of Kakamega County Public Service Board, we have really tried our best to work within the confines of the law and the policy that guide our operations as a board. And one time ever have we to think or contemplate taking an action that is outside the confines of our powers. And from all the presentations that were made here, even from the Honorable Petiton, you realize he was just placing statements before the committee that were unjustifiable. He never justified any of the allegations he made before you. And in his own responses, he could confirm that some of the things that he placed before this committee didn't have supporting information or evidences. So to me, I feel that the committee, in its own wisdom, will consider these matters, compare the presentations from the board members and the statements before it in regard to its removal, and then come to a just conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. That's all for this witness.
Thank you, Council. Council for the decision. Yeah, thank you.
How much time do I have, Chair?
30 minutes.
Now, Mr. Kwok.
My name is Omukoko. Yes, sir.
I will only ask you a few questions which have respect of issues that arose in your exam in chief.
Yes.
And avoid others to avoid you repeating what you have colleagues have testified.
Yeah.
You have your You are the joint response to the petition.
Yes,
You confirm that in respect to the petition, you, through your counsel, filed a response to the petition.
yes,
And you filed it consciously, having had time to look at it and the allegations against it.
yes,
You also confirm that you and your colleagues deposed to an affidavit, you have a copy there, to verify the comments in the joint response.
yes,
You signed it.
I did.
Okay. You also confirm that since the hearings in these petitions began, you have sat through the proceedings.
True.
You also confirm that in view of the issues you answered to, you have ably responded to the allegations by oral testimony today.
True.
So you would agree with me that the fact that you are not included in the schedule has not prevented you from testifying.
True.
Okay. Now, in respect of the letter to the CEO, Chairman, I don't see a copy. I haven't been given a copy, the letter.
You didn't get a copy,
Yes. And just look at it, the purposes of these proceedings, and I get a copy later. You will confirm to the committee that the letter is dated 20th November 2023.
True.
And was submitted to the Secretary on 30th November 2023.
True.
By which time, you may look at the affidavit, by which time you will find a response to the petition.
True.
So the fact that no information was given on this letter did not prevent you from answering to the petition.
True.
That will be all from the witness.
You're done?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Council for the respondent. Can done.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Just one question in the exam. You confirm that the committee to make a decision informed by the contents of those documents, right?
True.
That will for this witness.
Thank you very much. I think Mr. Mtoko, you can go back and take your seat. We are done with you. Or do you have anything?
No, Chair, I just want to thank you and the committee. And I don't have anything else. Thank you so much.
Because I thought you had already given your last remarks. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair, if I may. Mr. Omukoko and your colleagues, for myself and on behalf of the petitioner, and having listened to your introductions, let me say that despite these proceedings and this petition, We appreciate your contribution to the country for the several issues that all of you have mentioned. This is just at your end. Thank you.
Let me take the opportunity to thank what the parties. It has been so gruesome, our work. I thank both the councils. There is a new development. The CEO has been adversely mentioned. The CEO has been adversely mentioned in the hearings here from both the petitioner and the respondents. And we feel with all the fairness, it would be just for her to come and appear to the committee to clarify a few issues. So the committee was suggesting that we come back at 2:30 to listen to her, maybe for another 20 or 30 minutes that will be available. Then we'll close out everything. But still, anything that the petitioner or the respondents could have forgotten, we'll actually have our emails, the official email for the assembly open, but not on any new issues. For that matter, I'd like to give the counsel for the petitioner some time on any summing remarks that you could actually have, because we've been together since we started this hearing. If you have any summing up remarks, this is the time that we'll give you. And then thereafter, we'll actually also give the same to the respondents' counsel to give his summing up remarks. And then in the afternoon, we'll only actually listen to what the CEO will have for the committee. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair, Vice Chair, and members, I do not have much to say except to thank the committee for hearing parties to this petition and for managing the hearing. I'm being careful. If I say so much, I might trigger further proceedings. Inevitably, the proceedings are closed on audio note. I would like that we close. Other than that, I do not know the timelines that the committee has, but perhaps on particular issues that is regarded the law, we may be permitted to file written submissions. Yes, for the benefit of the committee. As lawyers, we say so because there is always a possibility that consequent to these proceedings, matters might end up elsewhere. And questions must be asked as to whether, if you question that determination, did you bring that angle of those points to the attention of the committee? And if we are granted leave to file submissions, we may as well be confined to the length of submissions. I know I have a weakness. I could do submissions running to 50, 100 pages. Thank you.
And that's actually why I was saying that that we are going to provide our official email for anything. Now is that we come down to the final submissions. We don't have any problem with that. Council for the respondent.
Probably before the comments, I had expected my learned colleague to make comments on the directions or making plans on the direction being done by the chair. The appearance of someone has to be convenience on his part and any role that he wishes to play.
If I may, number one, I have no problem appearing here to the presence of the CEO would benefit both parties. Number two, we have subjected ourselves to the jurisdiction of the committee. We will deal with the matters that may arise as and when the CEO comes at that time. I do not want to build that, but appearance here has to be have no problem. The presence of the CEO in respect of the inquisitorial mandate of the committee, I have no problem with her being called. Yes.
There is always the proverbial phrase of the ostrich burying its head in the sand. We realize that at this particular time, contrary to its own ruling, the committee now wants to invite people. We had asked that they come and it overruled us. Access to justice and the rules of fair trial demand under Article 50 that parties are granted, Article 50 of the Constitution, that parties are granted fair chance, opportunity, sufficient material, and time to prepare for that trial. Now, it is 11:15. We have about 2 hours to have now what we would consider a stranger to appear and have to be cross-examined by any of the parties. We are presuming that there will be room for cross-examination by any of the parties. That has not been directed as yet. Two, we had our own plans for the afternoon because we knew these proceedings will start at 9, by 10 we should be done. We cannot always control events. We began late, we are fair enough, we've ended fairly early enough. We still have time. If that CEO has to be examined or cross-examined or come to shed light on issues, we are ready for her now. My availability at 2 p.m. is totally out of question. So if it is now, her office is right here. I call her, she appears before you, we proceed so that kila mtu ajipange afternoon na yale mambo yakiwa yametupangia hapo awali. In fact, if the committee remembers too well, it is the petitioner's advocate that insisted that if you're going to be here up to 10, it is okay with him so that it moves on to something else. We do not know whether that position has changed. So I
know this committee has powers to summon people in furtherance of its inquiry. I want to believe that she is definitely aware that she shall be required before the committee now that the chair has expressed the same. And I want to believe that she can do whatever she's doing to come and expediently. 2 p.m. is out of question for me. And the responses. And now that we had a schedule amended to today, 10 a.m., we do not feel it would be fair, but we are made to wait up to 2 p.m. for today. The time is now. The witness is within the jurisdiction of the committee. We can have a time.
Thank you very much, Council, for your contribution. The decision to call the CEO yesterday after the vigorous hearings that we've been having. And that's when the committee, their meeting yesterday, decided that she needs to come and clear a few things about her name, the whole case. But if it is for the benefit of the respondent, not want to hear, or the councils are so busy, they cannot actually be in the afternoon. And then as well, give us 5 minutes, we will take a decision again with the committee, and then we'll actually give you what the committee will have decided. But nevertheless, again, the letter we sent her yesterday, she was supposed to appear before us at 2:30. So there's no way we can approach her now and ask her to come and appear to us now. So in that, for that matter, you can give us about 5 minutes to make a decision. We agree.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe one from your comments, you realize that that letter was not copied to any of the parties. So none of us knew that she was coming. We are knowing, and we've been informed in the morning, we would even have prepared in a much better fashion and reorganize the session. And 2, we are concerned as the residents that the committee's concern for calling the CEO is to come to clear her name, not to assist the committee arrive at a fair determination. She's coming to clear her name for having been mentioned. It is well, we take it that. If she can be available now, let her come, clear her name for the committee. We are hopeful that at some other point, each of us will also be given some other opportunity to clear our names. And for clarity purposes, I would like the committee to be very clear that the filings, the additional things to be provided, should be limited to submissions. Because when we open it generally, then we are going to prejudice each of these parties. The respondents will come with now documents from social media and jam the email. The petitioner will also go and come with things from the public domain and jam the email. We are not to allow ourselves to reopen this matter and start feeding all manner of garbage. At the conclusion of the proceedings, the only thing that follows submissions. So I'm hoping that that directive is not a general admission in readiness to pick, receive, and consider any other thing apart from submissions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council. I think I wasn't so much clear. The window we've actually given until tomorrow is for submissions, not another rubbish or another issues from anywhere. It's specifically for submission, and I wanted actually to read here a statement, a directive that any party interested in filing submissions is directed to do so by Friday, 8th December 2023, before the close of business. The written submissions should be submitted through the Kakamega County Assembly email, and we are going to provide it to everybody. So I think that's where we are. But for the other decision on whether we are calling the CEO, whether the CEO is coming at 2:30 or not, I feel that the respondents have already declined, and we cannot actually force them to be available. So for that matter, let us actually keep the proceedings closed, the hearings.
Honorable Chair, we are concerned by your ruling or direction. You initially indicated that you want to consult amongst yourselves. I don't know whether you're consulting and I was submitting, and see whether she can come now or at 2:30 p.m. Two, we did not decline. We indicated we had arrangements for 2:30 p.m. and we asked the committee to consider calling her now. We were expected to receive communication from you that you have made efforts to have her now, and she cannot do it. Going by the action that the Honorable Chair has taken to conclude without any basis that we declined is mischievous, irregular, illegal, summary trial, and we ask that the Honorable Chair reviews his position, reconsiders what directive he issued earlier on, and grants us a further direction on any efforts made to present that CEO to the board at this time or any other time other than do that.
Councillor Shifoka, I think there is a misunderstanding between you and the chair. You know, when you first of all admitted that the committee has just decided to have the CEO come to clear his name, I think that is where the issue came actually. But we are supposed to consult as a team. Then in 5 minutes time we'll give you an answer. Because actually yesterday's letter alluded to it that she should be here, and so we can't change her that now. So just allow us a few minutes, then we'll communicate.